going on, you guys? This is Hyperion-Blue-GT. It's time for Group 3 race on Gran Turismo Sports. So looks like it's time to get ready for Sardegna Road Track B, and this is going to be very excellent to be able to get started. So this is going to be able to take the choice to be selected. So this is going to be able to go for a better Group 3 race car that this is going to be able to take. So just gonna have to go for country selection, and then this is gonna be able to do much more ways to go. So looks like this is gonna be able to do very fast and going challenging ways to be able to take a lot of technical skills to go for. So I'll be able to have to use the Lamborghini Huracan GT3 with a Total Drama World Tour library. Team Chris is really hot, and now this is going to be very challenging to be able to get started. So looks like this is going to be very challenging to be able to have the newest track, and this is going to be able to take the skills that this will might be prepared to do everything if I could. So it might be able to take 5 minutes of time trial that this is going to be able to get started. So looks like everything is now put it in for this week's daily race, and this is going to get very excellent to be able to get started out for. So luckily, at least, that this is going to be able to do a very good, excellent race, that this is going to be able to have a very good GT3 race event that this is going to be able to take. Now, good thing that the balance of performance is now differently in place by setting up that might be given a good recommend settings that this is going to be might need for use. So racing hard tires are now definitely might be in use, so this should be able to do very good ways that this is going to be able to have a good race. That definitely almost like the Barcelona track, that this is going to be able to get everything started. So I hope that this is going to be very good, that this is going to be able to have everything added in on the course C layout. So, well, it's only just going to race on the course B layout, so this is definitely might be able to work faster and challenging to be able to get there. So just going to have to take the hot lap, and then this is where might be able to get started. Okay, so for the first turn, as always, to be seen, but it is going to be very possible, but I kind of think I just definitely made a mistake, attempted that this is going to be very tougher, that this is going to be able to have to do it nice and slow. So maybe this is going to be able to have to go for the new attempt. So maybe this is going to be able to have to take a lot of good clean turns that this is going to be able to take. Now, I hope that this is going to be able to do a lot of better ways to be able to master the course B layout on Sardegna. Is going to be able to do much possible ways to be able to get there. So it's going to be very tougher, that this is going to be able to have to take the first turn is going to get very extremely difficult. So this is going to be very cautious that this is going to be able to avoid spin out as much as we can. So probably that this is going to be able to take plenty more challenges turns that this is going to be able to take. Now just going to have to take it nice and slow and try not to lose any control that this is going to be able to have the effect on it for it. Just going to have to be able to make sure, because the brake balance and traction controls, if I could probably be able to set for use in case of emergency, that this is going to be very possible that this is going to be one tough race that this is going to be able to take. Alright, this is going to be able to do a lot better. That should probably be able to have a single penalty line, that this is going to be able to have everything needs to be able to get started out for a good race to begin. So just going to have to take enough time that this is going to be able to take. But looks like this is going to be able to take the regular lap, that this is going to be able to start perfectly to be able to go in. And then just going to have to take one good chance that this is going to be able to take a lot of progress time that this is going to be able to take. Alright, so here it is, folks. 1 minute and 27.672 seconds that this is going to be the record that this might be able to take. So it's going to be very possible that the first turn is going to be very advanced wide open. So maybe we should probably be able to be very careful whenever we have to be able to do it. So it's going to be very tough that this is going to be able to have a good clean race whenever it's going to have to take plenty more turns that this is going to be able to take. Okay, that should do it. Just is going to be able to follow up the guidelines onto the blue blimps, and then this should do the trick, and then this is going to be able to work perfectly, that this is going to be able to take a good hot lap, that this is going to be able to reach up and going faster for a good improved race that this is going to be able to take. So it's pretty challenging that this is going to be able to take upper turns and downhill turns that this is going to be able to take. So it's going to be very rough terrain that if this is going to be able to do much possible if we can do it. So it's going to be very tough that this is going to be able to take a lot of practice that this is going to be able to get there. Okay, looks like getting a little bit short seconds to go, so this is going to be able to join in session of the race. And then this is going to be one good efficient lap time for 1 minute and 25 seconds. That should do it, and this is going to be very competitive for a Group 3 race that this will might take on the Course B layout, that this is going to be able to do much as possible to be able to get there. So it might be able to take a lot more practice, that this is going to be able to work harder to be able to have a good improved lap time that this will might be able to take. But it gets pretty difficult, but slide turns also be very cautious, that we might need to be very careful. Now, even that the apex is definitely needs to be able to have a good smooth turn, so this is going to be able to do much possible, that this is going to be able to take a lot of good clean turns that this might need to take. So I hope that this is going to be very brilliant, that this is going to be able to have a nice good Group 3 race to be able to join in session. So looks like this is definitely might be started out on 17th place, so looks like they just definitely made it for only 1 minute and 20 seconds, that this is going to be able to have a tough goal that this is needs to be able to achieve. So it is going to be pretty tough to be able to work hard and work faster, but we'll make sure that this is going to be able to take a lot of practice, that this is going to be able to take much more better chance for the gap distance we might be able to get there for it. So let's just kind of wait for everyone to get ready to go, and now let's just gonna get started for one good race to begin. So the number of laps is going to be at 15 laps, so this is going to be very challenging on race C, so we'll make sure this is going to be the best moment that this is going to be able to take. So just going to have to be able to get ready for a warm-up race that this will might get everything started. So the duration time that this will might take 15 minutes of the race, and then this is going to be able to do a lot better, that this is going to be able to take very much corner ways to be able to get there for it. Okay, there you go. Just going to have to follow up the apex, and this should do the trick. But it gets pretty rough, that this is going to be very difficult, that this is going to be able to stay on the terrain turns, that this is going to be very advanced, that we just definitely might be able to take the chance to go there. But it gets pretty tough. We'll have to make sure that this is going to be very exercise caution, so it's going to be very tougher, that we might be able to avoid collisions. Huh, that's odd. I kind of think that time just definitely ended for it, so well, I guess that this is going to be doing a lot better, that this is going to be able to get ready. So, alright, here we go. Let's go and get started for a 15 lap challenge on Sardegna Course C, and this is going to be able to do a lot better, that this is going to be able to take the rolling start to be able to get started. So, everything is good to go, and looks like everything will be able to get set up for a good rolling start to be ready. So this is going to be a very good Group 3 race, that this is going to be able to take a lot more chances to go. So view map is on. Always going to have the radar to be needs for check, and then let's see how this will might be a one good excellent Group 3 race. And here we go. Let's get started. This is all the best runs that this is going to be able to take. So this is going to be able to race hard to be able to keep up for the win, and then just going to have to do a lot more passes to be able to go there. So this is going to be able to have to do a lot more better ways to be able to go and proceed and take the much tougher turns that this might be able to go as possible. But keeping of course that this is going to be able to take a strong struggle, that we might be able to be very careful not to have any collisions happen to it. That could be pretty tough and very possible that this is going to be able to try and maintain the pace that this is going to be able to take. Okay, just going to have to hang on to it. This is going to get very possible that this is going to be able to stay on the maintained current runs that this is going to be able to take. And oh, looks like this is going to get very tougher, that this is going to be very careful on the collision. That could be very much possible ways to be much careful for it. So that could be pretty extreme that this is going to be able to take. Okay, just stay on the tarmac track, that this should do the trick, and then just gonna keep on, and then this is gonna be very tougher that this is gonna be big. Oh man. Looks like it's been had, and take some recovery time that this is gonna be able to go on and then take that last corner, and this is gonna be able to going on for the next lap, and then this is gonna be able to have everything that this might be able to keep up with the speed. Okay, moving on to the second lap, and then looks like this is going to get very difficult, that this is going to be able to have a one tough race, that we should probably be able to be careful for one race moment. But this is going to be one way that this is going to be, might be able to master the track. So looks like time for one good circuit experience test course, and now let's just going to have everything what we need to do. So it's going to be very challenging, that this is going to be able to take plenty more inside turns whenever it's possible to be able to use the main queue, that this is going to be very closer, that this is going to be able to keep it on edge. Okay, so looks like currently on 15th place, so it looks like getting a little bit far behind, and this is going to be able to do much more ways to go. But it's always possible that this is going to get plenty of decreased effect, that this is going to be able to go down to the driver rating, that this is going to be, might need to have a racing responsibility that this is going to be able to take. Okay, that should do it. Okay, yellow flag just called in, and then this is definitely might be able to have something going on. Okay, so it's like one player just definitely goes back in and recovered, so looks like 14th place is going on ahead. Well, glad that this is going to be able to do much better race, that this is going to be able to have this race nice, to be able to have a good clean race, but it gets pretty tougher, that this is going to be able to avoid any collisions whenever we have to avoid. Okay, make that apex line on the queue, and now this is going to be able to keep it on going. So this is going to be able to stay maintain on the pace, that this is going to be able to do it just fine. Okay, trying to maintain control, and then just keep coming down the hill, and then this is going to be able to take the advantage of the turn, that this is going to be able to go much faster. Okay, hang in there. Just gonna have to do a little bit more oversteered turn, is definitely might be need to be able to keep it going. Okay, looks like almost to be reached up onto 22nd gap, so I have to be able to keep trying, and then this is gonna get better. Hang on. Okay, 75% amount of fuel left remaining, so this is going to be able to do okay. So I hope that this is going to be able to do one good racing segment plus a daily workout finish, and this is going to be able to take a lot more struggles distance to be able to go, so it's going to be pretty tougher that this is going to be able to take. Okay, just continue on, and then this is going to be very challenging on the top track, that this is going to be needs to have a lot of skills to master it, but it is going to be able to take experience to be able to master the circuits of the track, so it's going to be very tougher and better for getting intense that this is going to be able to take. And looks like this is definitely unfair ways that this is going to be able to take a lot more ways to get everything going. So, but that was definitely might be, we have to be very careful not to do a little side contact by giving a little penalty will also occur. Now this is definitely might be getting tougher and harder that this is going to be able to take for any other Group 3 racers, that this is going to be able to take a lot more longer ways to be able to get there. So looks like only down for 10 more laps to go, and this is going to be very much longer to get. The harder it might be able to take a lot more faster ways to be able to have a good practice of this race, and this is going to be able to get better. Now, looks like this is going to be able to do it just the way it goes, and now just going to have to take some time until this is going to be able to take a lot of distance that this is going to be able to take. So this is going to be able to be much better passive ways to be able to avoid taking too much aggressive. Now, looks like it is definitely, I'm just pretty too slow, but it is going to be able to do much possible ways to be able to keep up and keep going faster. So it's going to be very slightly difficult if I could take a half of chance that this is going to be, oh man, that's how it happens. And this is definitely might be giving one important tip. Never pull the brake too late, and that could happen that this is going to be struck in onto the sand trap. Now, looks like it's 16th place for last place, that this is going to be able to have everything, that this is going to be one hard race, that this is going to get pretty tougher and harder up on it, and this is going to be where I have to keep up on it. So it gets pretty tough, but it always be difficult if we must be very careful not to have any collisions that this is going to be able to take. Okay, 6th lap is going to be able to take a little bit more time to go in, and then this is going to be taking forever, because this is definitely the new race for the Group 3 cars, but it's going to get pretty intense that this is going to be able to get. Well, I hope that this is going to be very horrifying decreased driver rating that this has come to effect, but I'm just trying to keep up for the win, for first place to be able to race to win, but it gets pretty possible that we just lost a few other players exit out, and they just need to be able to go again to take the second chance. But I know that it is going to be very difficult, but we have to try to master it, because it's all about the basics of learning for a good race, that this is going to be, might be able to have a lot of terrain, that this is going to be able to go downhill and uphill, but this is going to be able to do better if we must be able to think smart, that this is going to be able to take a lot of good corner skills that this is going to be able to take. Okay, looks like 7th lap is going to be able to take much more ways to be able to go. So looks like 37 gap distance up ahead, and this is going to be taking us one closer ways to be able to go. So maybe this is going to be able to go for the 8th lap, that this might be able to have the best choice, that this is going to be able to go to the pit stop earlier. Well, it gets very messy on this race, but sometimes other racers try to survive and always going to have to keep up, but it gets pretty difficult that things might need to be able to have a good SR to be able to increase that this is going to be able to go to effect. Now, looks like this is going to be able to go in and get better. Just going to have to try to take a lot more speed and then take that turn, that this is going to be the hardest part that this is going to be able to take. Okay, nope, don't want to have to lose that control, because this is definitely might need to be able to take. Okay, let's just going to go over to the pit stop. So this might need to be able to take a lot refuel that this one might goes in. Okay, get my crew set up and be prepared. So this is going to be, we have to have the tires to be freshened up, or new hard compound tires to be able to get. Okay, just wait until it'll be able to have an extra amount of fuel, so it's good to go. And now let's continue on. Well, I hope that this is going to be able to have the same position as always to be able to do the usual. So things could get pretty tougher, that this is going to be pretty much difficult ways that this is going to be able to have the rough terrain that this is going to be able to get closer on for it. Okay, looks like back in last place, but this is going to be able to do much harder ways to be able to have to do it. So, well, glad that this is going to be able to do a little bit much harder, but it gets a lot of pressure that this is going to be able to take. Come on, just try to avoid getting caught up on the sand trap. That could be slowing down that this is going to be able to take. Okay, looks like getting a little bit loosened up on it. Okay, looks like that could be pretty harder that this is going to be able to take, but this is definitely might be able to do much better that this is going to be able to take. So, since I just definitely took the Red Bull X 2019 competition in the first part, so, well, guess this is going to be the second part that this is going to be very tougher that this is going to be able to get, but we tried everything, but it is going to be able to do much better, but it's going to be able to take a lot of experience that this is going to be able to take. Okay, so it's just going to have to take, and then looks like they're at the 10 lap, only 5 more to go, and this is going to be able to do better ways that this is going to be able to keep up and keep trying, but it gets very slightly difficult that we didn't get any chances that this is going to be able to keep up on it. Okay, looks like one of them just definitely might be finishing up the tires to be set up and good as new and refuel. Then this is going to be able to work faster. Alright, 10 more laps. Looks like this is going to be able to have 5 more laps remaining, and then this is going to be able to keep it going, and now this is going to be able to take. Okay, that should do it, and now just going to keep it going, and now just going to go all the way. Well, I hope that after this race, so maybe this is going to be able to go back and take the time trial, that this is definitely might be work better. So I hope that this is going to be able to take much practice, that this is going to be able to keep up. Okay, just take that turn, and then this is going to be able to go all the way in. Okay, looks like this is going to be able to check the fuel map, so it looks like 56% remaining, and now looks like this one might do just keep it going, and then this is gonna might need to have some mileage distance for the daily workout for today, so this is gonna be that takes much better ways to go. But even that, all of us that might need to have to take more practice, that this is gonna be able to master the Sardegna Road Course speed, that this is gonna be very challenging for us, that we might be able to learn to nice and slow. So that could be giving the racing excellent technique that this is going to be able to take. But it is going to be very hard, that we might be able to have to keep up the work, and also that this is going to be able to do a lot more directions, that this is going to be able to help out to be able to make us improve. So even sure that this might be able to have to take plenty more slightly turns, but we have to be able to learn to control of a Group 3 race car on the newest track. So it is pretty hard, that if we might be able to work faster, that this is going to be able to take a lot of more distance to be able to keep up. But it gets very slow, that this is going to be need to have a lot of improved work that this is going to be able to take. But it gets very tougher, that sometimes that this is going to be able to take a lot of hard work that this is going to be able to get. Well, better have to make sure, because this is going to be very challenging, that we might be able to take a little bit, needs to be able to take control of the car, so we might be able to avoid cutting turns and getting also struck on the sand trap that this is going to be able to take. But it gets pretty intense, so we might be able to have to take a lot of more skills, that this is going to be able to race carefully, because this is going to be able to do a lot of more skills that this is going to be able to take. Okay, looks like yellow flag just called in, and then this is going to be able to take one of the opponents that's definitely might be able to try to keep up on it, but it is going to be doing a lot of better racing skills, that this is going to be able to drive carefully, because it gets very tougher on that track that this is going to be able to get. Okay, the 13 lap, so this is going to be able to have the 14 lap as the final lap of the race. So this will might be able to come out for the result, that this is going to be able to have everything to take. Well, I know that this is going to be very tough, that this is going to be having a little bit better chances, that this is going to be able to take a lot more pressure on this race. Don't lose that grip, because the Huracan needs that handling, that this is going to be able to take it nice and slow for a maintained pace that this is going to be able to take. Almost there. Looks like they already made it into the final lap, so they just definitely did whatever they got. So looks like this is going to be able to keep up, and then this is going to get very worked hard to get for it. So looks like that could be the most hardest race that this is going to be able to take. Okay, so looks like they're about to be able to pull out the blue flag to be able to give way for faster cars to be able to press on for. So this is going to get very tougher, that this is going to be able to take. Alright, 14 laps, so let's see, this is going to be able to take the time remaining that this is going to be able to get. But it might be able to do much possible ways to be able to press on for. But it always gets pretty loosened up, that this is definitely a brand new track, but it's going to be able to have to work hard to master it. Okay, there it goes, the blue flag just in the line, so this might go better ways this might be able to proceed. So it gets very tougher and very harder to get. Okay, just gonna have the hazard lights to be turned on, and then this should be safer to be able to proceed to going in. Well, of course, he just bring out his best NSX Group 3 is definitely might be the perfect choice to be able to use. Alright, so looks like this is going to be able to have to press on to proceed to the finish line at lap 14, and I hope that this is going to be coming out as the result that this is going to be able to have a last place earning. So looks like this may comes out on 13th place, because this is going to be able to have to do a lot better, that if we might be able to have to learn to have a good control of the Group 3 car, that this is going to be able to go in. So maybe this might come out for the effect that this is going to be able to take. Okay, so looks like 6 players just left, and they just really want to have to take the chance to go again. But looks like this is going to be a better race for today, you got folks. So this is going to be able to do a lot better, that this is going to be able to take the practice next time. So this is going to get very tougher and difficult, that this is going to be able to have to do much clean turns, that this might be able to do a lot of better racing, that this is going to be able to take on the course B on Sardegna. Now let's just kind of wait for the others until this is going to be able to race well done, for only one more remaining, and then the results will be able to have to get everything well checked and confirmed. So well, I hope that this is going to be able to have to do a lot better, that if we might be able to have a good clean race, try not to get a lot of spin outs as much as possible. Okay, so looks like just went up on fourth position, so that will be a good race. And luckily, the driver rating has definitely comes a little bit dropped out half a bit, so it gets pretty much needs to be able to work harder to get. Alright, so looks like daily workout is already finished, and then this is going to be able to do better, that this is going to be able to keep up on it. Alright, good game you guys. But this is definitely might be perfect, that this might be able to have to learn a better ways to be able to have a good clean race with a better well-maintained control of any Group 3 car, that this might comes better perfectly to get everything needed for. So the top 3 did very well by using any favorite car, so this is going to be needs to be able to have a good recommend vehicles that this might be able to have for the next race. So time for a gift card for today's daily workout, and let's see what I about to be able to receive. So let's see what else should I get. The Corvette C3 Stingray. So very good orange color, and now this is going to be added into the garage. So good thing that for this week's mileage exchange, that Kenny metallic colors has definitely changed differently. So good thing that this is going to be quite very good to have enough mileage points that this is going to be able to have. Alright, so looks like few other purples and reds and silvers as always to be able to have something for it. So maybe 2 of them is available to have, so let's just gonna have to purchase the P4 Kenny Metallic. So maybe this is gonna be able to have to go for purchasing 1 more after this. So it is a very tough race on Sardegna Road Course B, but well, sometimes it is pretty tough and difficult, so we might be able to take a clean race, that this is going to be able to take a lot of balance by using Group 3 cars, but we'll have to make sure that this is going to be able to have a good, fair, clean race, that this might be able to have a second chance. So we'll have to be able to work faster and better, or take a practice that this is going to do a lot more better ways to be able to go. So I know that this is definitely might be pretty tough, but most of them have finally did very well, that this is going to be able to have a good driver rating increase, that this might goes in. So we'll have to make sure we have to be able to keep up without any collisions to be able to occur, so that could be pretty tougher to be able to have to take 15 laps of this race. But it might need to be able to work hard and work faster that this one might be able to have. Okay, you guys, glad that you really enjoyed this race. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. We're reaching up a 100 subscriber goal. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and bell for notification uploads if you like, and the links in the description down below if you want to see more if you're interested. I'll be seeing you guys next time for continuing on the daily race on Gran Turismo Sport, and I'll see you guys later. Keep on racing, stay cool.